Hi, I'm Wes Allen with DM Tales, and today I want to discuss a little bit of where I've been the last 3 weeks. Let's roll it. So after my review of Dark Places and Demigorgons, I said I was going to be reviewing one of the basic fantasy RPG modules. That is still coming, and I have chosen the module that I'm going to do. It is going to be Monkey Isle. This is an homage to Isle of Dread, a Lost Places or a Lost World type of setting. Should be really interesting. I'm going to spend a few days with this and work on my review for next week. But I've been a little busy. So aside from life happening, I have a little one and a job to do and family obligations and all that wonderful stuff. The Phillies were also in the World Series. They lost. Sigh. I did say the word sigh out loud. And I was up until, 11:30, 12 o'clock every night for the better part of a week and a half. So I was a little tired. And in addition to that, all the time that I normally set aside to do my work for DM Tales was being sucked up by my day job, which is to pastor a church, and also to just take care of my family. Real life gets in the way sometimes. But there was a happy confluence of my hobby and my day job over the last 2.5 weeks or so. You see, the church that I pastor needs a new roof. That's going to cost a hefty amount of money, and right now we are trying to raise money for the project. So I decided that I was going to run one-shot day. 3 tables, maximum of 8 players per table, running 3 different systems. Folks would buy in. The GMs would get a little stipend to reward them for their efforts on behalf of the project, and we would get together and have a lot of fun. I was one of the GMs, did not accept a stipend for my efforts. This is my job, to support this congregation, and I was running Easy D6 for the first time. So I decided I was going to run a Hallmark adventure, which is my fantasy tropes basic Hallmark movie idea. I ran one for Christmas a couple of years ago, and so this year I decided to do a Thanksgiving theme for Easy D6. And that took a lot of my time, just writing it out, making sure the settings were done, the maps were set up, and the characters were developed, the NPCs and all that sort of stuff, to make it a living, breathing space. Well, last Saturday, we had our one-shot day. Ended up only having 2 of the 3 tables run. A lot of conflicts this time of year, but we had a lot of fun. 4 players at each table. The GMs all got to play. The one whose table did not run got to play for free, so that was a benefit for him. And it was a great time, including my church treasurer killed the big bad, so that was rather interesting. My report for that is Easy D6 is a fantastic system. It is so much fun to play. Freewheeling, you're not looking at your sheet the entire time. You get to make stuff up on the fly, and the rules really lend yourself to doing gonzo and amazing things. This was a blast, and Easy D6 is going to be my one-shot system of choice for the foreseeable future. It's just that good, that fun, and that easy to jump into. I explained the game in 15 minutes, and we were off and running, and there were no issues. Just little brush-ups on the rules as we went through. Really, really cool. So that's where the bulk of my time has been for the last 2.5 weeks, trying to get this all set up. It was so much fun, in fact, all 3 GMs decided we're going to run another one-shot day, probably in February sometime, and I might do a Valentine's Day version of Hallmark, so we'll see how that works out. In addition to this, we've hit a couple milestones over the last 2 weeks. First, we hit 1,000 subscribers, now up to 1,080 subscribers as of the recording of this video. Thank you, everybody, for taking this journey. I've tried to do fair and interesting reviews and to tell cool stories from my tables, do a little demos, and occasionally give some GM or DM advice just from things that I've learned in my short time doing this gig. It's been a really fun thing. This has gotten me through the bulk of the pandemic. It's really given me something fun to do as we went through some family struggles last year due to illness. This has been a great outlet, and thank you everyone who has subscribed and watched and commented and liked and shared. It's just been great. So thanks for coming along with that ride. Moving forward, I did something that I'm a little nervous about. I decided I was going to set up a Patreon. There's 2 tiers, a buy me a cup of coffee and then just a general tier for more benefits. Both tiers get access to my Discord server, which is where I run all my Hallmark adventures and 2 of my regular tables right now, so it'd be fun to have that community expand a little bit. You'll also get to vote on things like which crowdfunding projects you would like me to try next. But for me, the exciting part is what the folks in the second tier get, because I'm going to be cleaning up all my notes for my one-shot adventures, some of my lore for the different worlds that I've created, and make them available to you as digital downloads. To me, world building is the most fantastic part of being a GM, and designing adventures is a lot of fun. And to be able to share that with folks who have been part of this journey on this channel and or maybe just are looking for something new that they haven't seen before, that's really exciting for me. So if you want to join us on that journey, join the Patreon. I'll put the link in the description below, and hopefully we'll get this adventure out really soon. I have one area I still have to key. I just ran out of time. Also from the Patreon, I'm going to be developing a website because I do like to create written reviews, and putting it on my general blog just hasn't really felt right the last couple of ones that I've posted. So I want to set up a DM Tales website that's got links to all my videos and my written reviews and maybe some other things that I think up along the way. This is where those funds are going to be going from the Patreon. So again, you want to come along for the ride? I'd love to have you. And finally, I am excited because I got a media pass to PAX Unplugged here in Philadelphia coming up next week. I'm really excited to go. This is my first con ever. So that's kind of daunting in that respect. And I'll be able to get down there Friday evening and for Saturday. Got to take care of the 4-year-old during the day on Friday, and then Sunday I'm a little occupied. But I'll get there for the bulk of the convention, and I'm hoping to meet up with some developers and other folks who have been interacting with me on Twitter or Mastodon through this site or just anywhere. If you want to connect, just leave a comment below. So next week, I'm going to get to that review of Monkey Isle, and after that, we'll see what happens next. But thank you everyone for coming along for the ride, and until we see each other again, happy playing everyone.